Yehudi, of a Lion of Judah, right? A Yehudi, or what the English language has insufficiently referred to in comparison to the Hebrew definition of the word, a Jew, a Yehudi, right? The duties of a Yehudi are rooted in God's teaching or law, instruction, or Torah. Okay. It is that what ultimately gives our lives true value. All the problems of our modern day and age, and also the falling away from the positive values of Judaism, of God's law, even the 10 Commandments, right? And all just jurisprudence based on the God of Israel, the God of the living, right? Who is merciful and just and absolutely righteous, right? Who even has a law of life to protect life, and then other laws in addition that were sent forth, such as that you shall not kill, so that life would be protected and human life would be protected, right? The falling away from the positive values of Judaism, Torah, Moses, Decalogue that God, right, the law of Moses, God's law, the 10 Commandments, the positive values of Judaism, respect for God, respect for life and God's creatures, even to love your neighbor as yourself, right? Not steal, don't kill, don't murder, don't commit adultery, don't commit blasphemy, don't commit idolatry, don't commit sexual immorality, right? Do your business honestly, practice kindness to animals, love your neighbor as yourself, right? Set up courts of justice to enforce these 7 Noahide laws, right? Love your neighbor as yourself, right? Okay? Justice and peace, right? All these good things, the positive values of Judaism, my friends. And the attitude of irrelevance toward the holy faith of our fathers, okay? They are all a result of the neglect of Torah study, the study of God's law. We have to study God's law day and night, learn it, and do it. And ask myself today, hey, listen, how am I ultimately going to do God's law? Because I'm here, I'm one man of God, hopefully a wise man of God and a man of power, right? And I'm looking at my, bank account, I'm looking at my future, and I'm thinking, all right, how am I actually going to fulfill my duties as a Yehudi, right? And anybody and anyone whatsoever from any nation too, you're more than welcome to join us in this journey, because you can also become a partner in God's creation with Him. It is said that somebody who earnestly, right, and who has pure motives, or a pure and an upright motivation that drives him, or someone who has pure intent or motivation to study God's law, right, is likened and compared to a partner in God's creation, because you're studying the instructions manual of the creator of the universe. And as you study that instructions manual, see how magnificently it all works and how it's designed. And then what happens is you start to cooperate with this, right? People go out and they become engineers. People go out and they become doctors, and that's great. Choose wisely, choose a profession that is what you have been divinely ordained and blessed with the faculties to perform excellently with, right? Yet I'm telling you all right now that there is a choice of profession that is the most magnificent one that exists. And it is, in fact, very similar to the original purpose and calling that Adam, very good in the eyes of God, created the image of God and after his own likeness, okay? That's a serious thing right there. Was actually created. It was to be like a caretaker of God's creation with him, right? Now, you can live this way. We can live this way. It's very easy. All we have to do is listen to, hearken to, pay a little bit of attention to God's way, his Torah, his law, my friends. And I'll tell you something. It's not anything that's difficult. Although most often they will tell you, there are 618 positive and negative commandments in the Holy Torah. How are you going to keep those on a day-to-day basis? Listen, the only thing I've had to keep today as a Torah observant Yehudi, right? Literally in God's covenant. It's a serious thing. Got to keep order. The only thing I've had to do today, or keep, of about 618 laws or so, it was to keep cool, not to lose my temper too much, and to remain somewhat focused on being like benevolent, paying attention, yes, hello, paying attention to basically keep cool and think about the primary commandment. And that is, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Don't kill like they're talking to on the phone because he's, said something that, don't take this pot and put it away in the shelf dirty because the next person would like to find it clean, right? Like, I didn't have to worry about a whole lot today. And neither does anybody, even though there it will be said, like, okay, obviously I went to the store and I bought food, right? I didn't buy pork chops, okay? Because we're not supposed to eat pork, right? I mean, that's pretty easy. I didn't go and I didn't, hire heaven forbid. Rather, I kept I didn't go to the strip club today, and I'm not going to. So it's not, what I'm saying is it's not very hard to keep God's law. And even if they say there's 618 some commandments, right? There's always an easy way. Most of us don't even have to worry about these details. Yeah, there's a couple things you can do. I can't kill anybody. I can't steal. I can't do that. I can't lie, right? Whether within the community or without, I can't do that. Hold on. I'm about to pull a book out. Gonna have to reference and check that I quoted things properly at the opening here. Right, we are reading a book. I wonder if anybody can see me right now. We're reading a book called Rabbinical Wisdom to the Sayings of the Fathers, Jewish Ethics, right? Literally, listen. I'm gonna show you the validity and just how important this is. All right, listen closely. What we are reading here, my friends, okay? Hold on. All right. Hold on. Just getting there. There's a pictogram that explains this very, very good. Because what we're reading here came from God to Moses, double honors. And then it was communicated to Joshua, right? And like what I'm seeking to tell you is that even part of what I'm holding here, a large part of this, is actually, it's based on, and it also contains ethics, a code of life and how to live that literally came from God to Moses, double honors. Then to Joshua, right? Then, hold on. Where is that? And then from Joshua to the elders, or the elders, if I'm correct. If I'm correct, then to the prophets. Like, I'm looking for the section. Hold on. Just getting there. Pardon me. How is it that you cannot locate? No, high, not low, high, right? Ugh, come. Where are you? Okay. Seriously. Hold on. What in the world? You're not serious, are you? I know that's in this book. For heaven's sake, where is it? I'm looking for a page with a pictogram that shows the lineage of how God's law was given from God to Moses, from Moses to Joshua, and then from Joshua to the elders, and then from was it from the elders to the wait a second. I found it right here, for heaven's sake. Pardon me. Right, here it is. What? Well, the picture looks like the one about where? Hold on. Just coming up here. Hold on. Oh, it's. All right, here it is. I found it. All right, got it. Yes. All right, here it is. Pardon me, friends, had to dig this out, but it's so important. Listen, have a look at this, right? I'm going to explain to you. See this pictogram here? That there says Moses got the Torah on Mount Sinai, right? And then you can see there's a lineage all around this, right? So what happened was this, is that, hold on. Set this down for a second, pardon me. There's a text that says this. It says, Moses received the Torah on Mount Sinai, right? And furthermore, it says, gib mir diese Seite. All right, pardon me. We've got it now. It says right here, it says this. It says, Moses received the law at Sinai, right? You're looking at it there, basically, right? Moses received the law at Sinai and gave it to Joshua. Joshua gave it to the elders. The elders gave it to the prophets. And the prophets gave it to the men of the great assembly. These said, 3 teachings. Be thoughtful in deciding or choose wisely. Make many students, and also make a fence around the law. All right, good enough. Just had to show that what we're talking about here is a thing that is magnificent. It came from God. And I also have someone who's going walking. All right, that might not be. Damn. I don't know. Let's see. Just skip that part. Kitty cat. Funny because I'm walking around and there's a cat that keeps walking with me. Oh, I see why. Because look, do you know we have duties to see to it that our fellow human beings are, in a good state of existence. And then also, God's creation also includes the animal kingdom, so to say, where, yeah, it's true. Psst. Kitty cat, see? this creature here. And, you know, here's the thing. Listen. We got to actually make this point very clear. Do not castrate animals. Do not neuter them. Do not spay them. Let them be fruitful and multiply as they were created by God to do so. If you get a cat and the cat has kittens, that's great. You will find a way to like take care and adopt them, right? But don't castrate them. Don't neuter them, right? Isn't that right? You know that it's correct, right? This cat agrees with me. Advocating for your species to be fruitful and multiply in accordance with God's will. Cat. Horses, cows, pigs even. Don't interfere with their bodily functions. Let them be fruitful and multiply. God made it that way and will provide for them, for you, and for all of us. It's a serious thing because it's an absolutely horrible and a damnable atrocity that, you know, humans go and they get a house cat and then they say, oh, what if it has kittens? And then they take it to the vet and the vet, you know, spays the cat. That's an atrocity. You can't do that. And nowadays it's very sad. I'd actually like to go and smash that. All right, I'm just gonna keep my cool. I saw a note the other day. Where did I see that? You know what I should do? I should just actively engage in this. I saw a note somewhere at a grocery store on a where people can like post notes and share information, and it said something like, God damn it, I even took a picture of it. Where was that? I'm gonna find out where that was. There was a note and it said something like, there's a house cat that that they're looking for a new home for it, and it's been neutered and spayed. Well, God damn you guys. Pardon me, I'm not supposed to condemn, but God damn your behavior for interfering with the reproductive rights of an animal that can't even speak your language, where these cowards and idiots and fools, it's such damnable behavior. Sorry if this is getting kind of harsh here, but like, you know, there's a cat. Okay, so fine, your cat has 12 kittens. Great. I'll be happy to have 12 kittens in my house because I know that my God is so almighty and can provide for every creature and even makes everything on an ongoing basis. Okay, you can recreate this entire universe or delete it and reset it and whatever he cares to. Okay, that's the type of perspective one has to have. Because I'm gonna go and find that note. See, there's another cat there. Cats are becoming part of this live stream because we also have to advocate. Not only do we have to bring God's law and his wisdom in his perfect way, and with that justice and peace and righteousness and God's knowledge, the knowledge of God and wisdom all over the earth to everybody, we also have to see to it that God's creation is taken care of. So listen, if you have a house cat, if you have a pet, if you have a dog, a cat, I don't know, a horse, a lion, a tiger, whatever, don't spay them, don't castrate them, leave them alone the way God made them and allow them to reproduce, for heaven's sake. Now I'm going to go and I'm actually going to go on my phone, I'm going to dig out this picture I took of a post, an advertisement from a grocery store like pin board where people can put stuff up, like if you're going to sell a car, you can put up a post-it note or whatever with your name and number or whatever. I'm going to go and dig this out now. I'm probably going to go and talk to this person now and tell them, hey, listen, well, like, you got to do this carefully. But it's so despicable when humans destroy God's creation with disrespect for the Creator and his law. Don't neuter your cat. Don't castrate your cat or dog. Leave it naturally intact. Leave the animals that God made the way he made them intact, right? Let them be fruitful and multiply, period. Don't interfere, okay? Because it is an atrocity. It's damnable. Think about this. I used to have a house cat when I was younger. We had a house cat. For some reason, now it wouldn't have happened. I probably would have gotten legitimately aggressively active to prevent it from happening, and I probably would have won the case against anyone and everyone. But when I was young, we had a house cat, and as it's done, and it's wrong, it was spayed when it was young, so it wouldn't have kittens, and that's damnable. And you know that house cat, what? And you know what? The cat that we had when I was young, it lived like over 20 years, but ultimately it died because it had problems from being spayed. And that's damnable. Instead, that cat should have been fruitful and multiplied, had kittens, and we would even have kittens from that cat to this day. Well, guess what? On my kosher farm, on my kosher piece of land, or in my universe, my portion of the universe that the Creator, the King of the universe, gave me, guess what? The cats are not going to be neutered. They're not going to be spayed. Animals are going to be fruitful and multiply the way that God made them to be. And if you don't like that, then you can go straight to hell in the long term gradually. Or you can listen to what the preacher man has to say right here and listen to the logic of, where did you come from? Where did I come from? We're human. We're also like creatures that come from clean multiplying and fruitful multiplying. So don't castrate animals. Don't castrate cats. Don't spay them. Don't neuter them. Leave them alone and allow them to multiply. And so what if you have 12 kittens? Great. You can give them to 12 different people, and then they can have 12 more, and there can be 1,000,000 kittens on the face of this earth, and hallelujah. All right? Yeah. There you go. Right, now I'm going to look on my phone and see where this note was. You know what I should do? I should just go on a kosher rampage type of not a rampage, but hold on a second. I'm seeing the light in the distance, some pedestrian. I don't want to scare some pedestrian walking along here in the dark. Yeah, all right.